Okay. All right, let's get going. Woo-hoo! So this is the Project Nature Connect New Student Orientation.
Oh.
So first I want to welcome all of you to Project Nature Connect. And I know that all of you are either just finishing your orientation courses or have just finished, and so each of you has decided that you want to continue on in the program, and that's very exciting. And I want you to know that this community, we're an international community, is a very close-knit family. And so so when I welcome you, I'm welcoming you into our family, and really look forward to getting to know you, and looking forward to seeing how you add to who we are as the Project Nature Connect community, and who we become in the future. And I'm Barb Hunning. I'm the program director of Project Nature Connect, and I'm also a doctoral student. I started in the program in 2007. I'm a psychotherapist by training, and I was looking for a holistic PhD that would enable me to really bring the heart of myself into my work. And the heart of myself is very connected to nature, and so when I discovered Project Nature Connect, I really just had this instantaneous feeling of home, and immediately began. And then 2 years ago, Mike put a notice out to the community that the program had grown to the point where he really could not continue to do everything by himself, and invited someone to apply to be coordinator, and invited people to help begin to envision and then put into place the next evolution of Project Nature Connect. So I immediately wrote Mike and, just sort of dedicated my life to service, if he would have me, and he did. And things like that happened in Project Nature Connect every day. A need arises and someone steps forward, which is really a beautiful thing. So, so that's me. Okay, so what's our mission? Our mission is to teach people how to create sensory Nature Connect moments that enable them to think and feel with their hidden but inherent earth wisdom. And this is something that I think has sort of touched each of our hearts as we've found the program. Our purpose is to awaken nature's purifying powers in the human psyche by teaching a simple, effective process for educating, counseling, and healing with nature. And that's the natural systems thinking process, which we will all be learning. Our vision is to inspire a new generation of people who benefit from nature's amazing grace and arm in arm walk our planet's organic path to balance and peace at every level of endeavor. So this is experiential education. It is the only experiential ecopsychology program, graduate program in existence. And the experiential process happens in a number of different ways. It happens through the group classes. The group classes are all set up the same way you began in the orientation course. Continuing in the other two group classes, you'll be doing a little bit of reading, but the main bulk of your learning happens through your experience in the Nature Connect activities and the learning that happens as you share your attractions with each other in the group. Another element of the experiential education is exploring the web strings of your interact group, exploring natural attraction ecology as you see it playing out in the relationships in the group, in what happens between the people in the group, how you negotiate consensus. The interact group and the community function by people staying in their attractions and relating around attractions, developing mutually interdependent relationships, and staying in consensus with each other. And so the classes are not only an educational process of learning certain material, but also an experiential process of growing through your relationships and learning how to function in balance and harmony with each other. The whole Project Nature Connect organization tries as much as it can, and we're always trying to push this envelope to function as much as it can as a natural system. So on the community and in every area of organization, we work to function by attraction and consent. Students participate in the organization at every level. We'll talk about this more as we go along, but that's all I'll say for right now. You'll see that it says at the top, mentorship model. There are different models of learning, and our program functions on what's called a mentorship model, which means that also students co-facilitate the courses. Once they have a little experience, you take a class, and then you co-facilitate it. And the community also functions by mentorship, where more experienced people help newer people. So there are three main kinds of program tracks available. One is to take courses individually for continuing education. If you do that, just taking individual courses, and you need academic credit for that, or continuing education units for licensure or for employment advancement. Those credits come from Portland State University, and there's a process for applying for those credits. The tuition for that is extra. It's in addition to, so it's separate from the regular degree tuition. Certification, there are 3 certification tracks. The certificate comes from the Institute of Global Education, so that's us, that's in-house. There are level 1, 2, and 3 certificates, and you can get a postdoctoral certificate. We'll go into more detail about that a little further along in the presentation. And then the degrees come from Akusama University, which is based in Hawaii. And if someone can come with a high school degree and get a BA equivalent by bringing additional either college credits or equivalent life experience or training, or you can get a master's degree, or you can get a doctoral degree. Any questions about this?
No.
Okay. So the program content. The focus of the program is teaching Dr. Cohen's theoretical model, the web-string model of natural attraction ecology. This is a new scientific school of thought that Dr. Cohen has developed. Ecopsychology, the whole field of ecopsychology is very green and still very much in formation. And to distinguish this model from what right now we're saying from quote-unquote conventional ecopsychology. Conventional ecopsychology, quote-unquote, is academic-based. So it's a combination of studies based in academics. For example, there would be a component of ecology, ecological learning, a component of Jungian theory, yoga, deep ecology. So it would be a variety of areas of study. Applied ecopsychology is experiential, and it is a process of sensory restoration and biological, psychobiological reconnection with nature. And so there's a fundamental difference. It really is an ecology theory. So it's really about the Earth being a coherent organism, and human beings are a part of that greater Earth organism and learning about how nature works. Another component of the program content are associated readings. There's a recommended reading list, and you will see in the self-study courses and in each of the group courses, in the back of your book, there will be a list of additional recommended readings. You should read according to your interests, because we have a wide range of professional goals among our students. How people end up focusing their energies can look very different from student to student. Everyone is encouraged to follow their own professional path. There are advanced readings that recommended reading list can be part of it, but depending on your area of special interest, some of the advanced courses invite you to explore and study other advanced readings tailored to your professional goals, and then advanced empirical research and practicum. So this means beyond the Nature Connect activities you learn in the courses, you're encouraged to explore experientially in nature, explore interacting with nature, explore your senses, explore the dynamics that you experience in your relationship with the natural world, with other organisms and beings. So here's the curriculum. You just finished the orientation course, and so you are at the yellow star, the gold star, joining the co-op. And when you join the co-op, you automatically, yes?
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Yeah.
Would it be possible, I'm trying to write all this down, would it be possible for you to send us this presentation that you're showing us afterwards so that we can have it? Okay, great, because I'm trying to write it down, but I'm not fast enough, and I'm trying to listen, so I just wanted to...
Yeah, but,
okay.
And you know what? We're also recording this, so you'll get a link. You'll get a link to the recording.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
That's okay. That's okay. So, so the curriculum, so you're asked to join the co-op, and when you sign and submit your co-op contract, that is the beginning of one of our courses, ECO 751, which is participation in the student co-op. And so with that course, you don't do anything to register. You're signing the co-op contract is your registration for that course, and so that begins now. This next phase takes about a year, is what we call the level 1 phase. And so you'll see that first sun on the pathway is certificate level 1, and you'll see the list of courses that are in this next phase. As you see, there's the same one pathway for everyone. In most graduate programs, if you're on a different track, there's a different sequence of courses for each track, but that's not the case here. We are a pathway. How far along the path you go determines how high of a certificate or a degree you earn. You will see that each certificate level is connected to a degree. So basically the degree includes the same courses in that certificate level and also extra work. So for a BA equivalent, you would be bringing extra college credits. If you're coming with a high school diploma and you want a BA equivalent degree, you would be bringing extra credits and taking these courses, and together that earns you enough credit for that BA equivalent. So that's level 1. So level 1 is ECO 500, you just finished it, or you're just finishing. ECO 800 and ECO 508 are the next things for you to do in the program. ECO 800 And you'll get links for these. You'll get some web links for curriculum. In fact, I think I put that in the invitation. So ECO 800 is the Level 1 Comprehensive Exam, which is actually a process rather than a test that you take at the end of the level. It's a process that you undergo throughout the level. And that exam consists of identifying key quotes, 100 key quotes from both your textbook and some other readings that you feel cover the basic tenets of natural attraction ecology. So by the time you get to the Level 1 certificate completion point, you should have a solid basic understanding of natural attraction ecology and the natural systems thinking process. The second level is also the master's level degree level, and that consists of taking ECO 502, which is let me back up a little bit. The certificate level 1, ECO 500 is a 10-week course. ECO 800 is the level 1 exam, which sort of flows throughout the level 1 process. ECO 508 is a self-study course where you read Mike's book, Einstein's World, and you do assignments and you email them to Mike. That takes about a month if you are just doing the book. If you are including recommended reading, it takes longer, however you want it to take. It's a self-study. The second group course is ECO 501. That's a 6-month course. So if you have enough free time, you can start ECO 501 and do ECO 800 and ECO 508 at the same time. Or if your free time is more limited, you might want to do ECO 800 and ECO 508 first, and then do ECO 501 afterward. Okay?
Okay.
That ECO 800 and ECO 508 reading give you a theoretical foundation in natural attraction ecology. And then ECO 501 is the second. It's the intermediate group class, experiential group class. Okay? And then certificate level 2 is the master's degree level. That consists of taking ECO 502, which is the advanced experiential course. It goes for a year. And then taking the level 2 exam. And the level 2 exam consists of explaining how you would convey and in an attractive way that they would understand and find appealing and get, how you would convey natural attraction ecology and the reconnecting with nature process to a series of different kinds of people, a policeman, a mother, a college professor, you can choose, okay? So the level 2 exam is basically showing that you have enough of an in-depth understanding of the process and of how nature works, that you can stand and talk about it to someone fluently. So, welcome. Is that someone here? Okay, I don't know. Okay, so that's those.
Sorry.
Yep, go ahead.
How long does level 2? Because you said level 1 is about a year. What's the general time frame for the level 2?
Each level is about a year.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, but yeah, understand that the program is self-led, so you can take as long as you want.
Okay.
You can take a break between classes. You can do this however it works for you.
Okay. Okay. It says about a year, but it's cut off on my computer, so now I can see the very top.
Yeah, it is on.
So sorry.
Yeah. Well, let me see if I can get rid of I can't get rid of my bottom bar. Yeah, this is what we were trying to get rid of, and we weren't successful. I'll try to fix that for next time. But yeah, it's about a year.
Okay, thank you.
So the group class is a year long, and then while you're doing the group class, you can be doing these other courses. Now, if you don't have very much free time, then you might have to wait until later. It's, you know, it's up to you. But all of these things can be done in a year. Okay. We'll go into more detail about what that advanced training and study looks like in another slide. So that's level 2. And then level 3 is the doctoral level. And level 3 consists of ECO 602, which just is co-facilitating ECO 502. If you get a master's degree, you don't have to co-fac ECO 502. You just take the course. If you get a PhD, you also co-fac ECO 502. So co-facilitating is part of the academic requirement for each of the group classes. So you wait to co-facilitate the orientation course until you've finished the certificate level 1 point. And then when you finish certificate level 2, you're qualified to co-fac certificate. You're qualified to co-fac ECO 501. Okay.
So when are you qualified to co-fac ECO 500? Because that's something that we're supposed to do as well, right?
That's at the certificate level 1.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry.
Yep.
And so then after certificate level 2, then you can co-fac ECO 501.
That's right.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so certificate level 3 is just co-facing ECO 502. If you're getting a doctoral degree, then it's the whole dissertation process, which, depending on the person, will take you probably 1 or 2 years, although some people go much slower than that. It just depends on you. Some people come already with a dissertation topic and maybe even already having written a book, and they just want to convert this into a doctoral degree. Other people have no idea when they start, and what you will find is that by the time you get into even, you know, when you're finished with ECO 501, during the course of that ECO 501 class, most people start finding particular things start feeling very fascinating. So a personal inclination begins to grow. And the more contact you have with nature, the more you get in depth in exploring your senses and your, you know, how you work and how nature works. You'll start to find things very interesting. And those interests are what determine how you do those advanced training study courses. And if you're getting a master's, you're just going to find yourself an idea will begin to form. And the same thing for the dissertation. You'll just find yourself inclined in a certain area. And then after you finish your certificate or your degree, then you'll see I chose an arrow that goes in every direction, including facing back into the program, because one of the professional pathways is to continue involvement in Project Nature Connect by becoming an instructor, by developing and teaching curriculum, by taking a leadership role in the organization, and we have people doing that. That's what happened to me. And in every direction also. So know that you have the opportunity to be part of the evolution of a new scientific school of thought. And then you're going to take that in whatever direction your attraction takes you out into the world.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, here are some curriculum links. Okay, I want you to know that we have a new website launching September 1st that will have our curriculum information in a tidy, user-friendly, easy-to-navigate new website. It will be at www.projectnatureconnect.org. Right now, that web address directs you back to ecopsych.com, but when we launch, it will be the new website.
How cool.
Yeah, very exciting. Okay, let me tell you a little more about the advanced courses. So there's 700 series and electives. So as I said, the more you get involved and the longer, the more you do your Nature Connect work, the more your interests are going to grow in a particular direction. And the 700 courses are the advanced training courses, which are a framework designed to enable you to tailor your learning in whatever direction you want. This is very important in our program because we have people coming from education, from counseling, from healing modalities, and from other, professional areas as well. So people's interests can be dramatically different. And so there are two required courses in the 700 series. One is ECO 751, the co-op participation. The other one is ECO 791, which can be made up of even more co-op participation or other field work, like you could use if you put on a workshop or you start teaching, if any kind of field activity where you are learning about or investigating Nature Connect work and the WebString model. And then you choose two of these three courses: advanced field studies, case studies, or advanced readings. So advanced field studies would be, it could be a professional internship implementing applied ecopsychology. It could be doing a research project. Really, you can use it any way you want. Field study means you're learning out in the real world. You're studying, you're investigating out in the real world. It can be anything. Case studies would be writing a paper on, you could use yourself as a case, or you could use a student or a client who's using NSTP, doing Nature Connect work on their personal process, their healing or personal development in the reconnecting with nature process. So that's one. Or advanced reading. Some people find themselves doing a lot of outside reading. Other people don't. If you find yourself doing that, you can get academic credit for it by doing advanced reading. Instead of doing a final paper for these classes, you are going to put together what is called a challenge exam. And the challenge exam consists of a learning portfolio. And this is a link to the information. I won't go there right now, but on that page, there are instructions for how to put together a learning portfolio. It's not complicated. It's a list of information that you provide, and then some essay sections where you describe what you learned. And you're basically asserting that you should receive a credit equivalent to 3 academic credits based on the work that you did, and here's why. So, questions about that?
No.
You said that there's a link to that we'll be able to get more information about that.
The screen is the link. Here's the page. There will be a new page, but on this page is the challenge exam format, all of the instructions.
Oh, okay. I looked at that. I skimmed it. So okay, thank you.
Yeah. Now how do I get back?
Sorry.
There we go. All right. Okay, the community. So because because this is a real thing, because we are part of nature, we're not just a two-dimensional institution. We're real people who are part of nature. And so it's not just a school, it's a community. And the community practices exploring how nature works. So some of the things that you will practice in the community are self-organizing by attraction and mutual consent. Our groups are self-organizing. For example, instead of having them scheduled at the beginning of a semester, a course begins every time there are enough people who want to take it. In practice, that has meant on a monthly basis, but that doesn't mean that we're on a monthly schedule. If 3 people come to me and say we want to start a 501 group or do Einstein's World together, they start whenever they want. We also self-organize into organizational work groups. For example, something that's happening on the community right now is that we saw a need to improve our co-facilitator training and to kind of build that out into a curriculum. And so several people raised their hand and said they would love to work on that. So they are working on that. I have 2 people who raised their hand to help design the new website and a new online community. So we self-organize into things according to our interests. If you see a way to improve the program, or if you see any kind of contribution that you want to make, you bring it to the community. We self-organize into study groups. So right now we're using Yahoo groups, but we'll have a new and improved modern online community, hopefully launching January 1st, 2012, in about 6 months. And so on the community, people will self-organize into study groups in their area of interest. Professional counselors can get together and talk about things. Massage therapists can get together. Teachers can get together. People who are interested in any particular area of natural attraction ecology can get together and learn more together, share information, share insights, etc. And then professional groups. People who have the same professional areas of interest can get together and work together to learn, to improve the field, to develop resources that others in their area can use, to write curriculum together, really anything that you want. There is student involvement and investment in every level of the organization. I'll talk about the tuition work-study barter a little further, but this is where it really is three-dimensional. There's a commitment that for academic credit that each person donates a certain number of volunteer hours to the community according to their attraction. But beyond that, students who are on scholarship or work-study invest their time, energy, and expertise working in every level of the organization. So all students do that to a certain degree. People on scholarship do that to even a greater degree. Because it really is a community that we love and we're very close-knit, and many of us just become very committed in our deepest heart to the reconnecting with nature process. So there's a really strong feeling of personal investment and ownership in the organization. We develop mutually interdependent relationships. So the work-study tuition barter is one example of this. Co-facilitating is another example. The co-facilitator is helping to guide the newer students while also learning how to teach. We explore how nature works in community. So in all of our conversations, in the community, we are exploring the dynamics of our relationships and practicing how to communicate according to our attractions so that we can stay in harmony with each other, so that we respect each other's attractions, so that we honor and celebrate our diversity, and all of the little things that come up in any relationship come up in our community. So we have moments of friction, we have moments where people have differing goals or needs and that have to be negotiated. And so all of this is a practice in cooperative community. And so we're practicing how to communicate. It's especially powerful because we're communicating by email, where it's so easy to misinterpret or read into someone's, affect. It is especially important for us to choose words that are careful with each other's feelings, that we are clear about what we need, that we ask for what we need, and we negotiate consent, that we anticipate other people's needs and make room, So it's a really rich exploration. And then also getting academic credit for all of these things that we're doing and learning. So I had someone ask me, I've had two people ask me in the last week, whoa, this sounds like a lot. I'm wondering if I wouldn't be able to start participating in the community yet. And I want you to understand that this is by attraction. Some people have a lot of free time. Other people have no free time. And, they're just lucky to be able to get their classwork done. And so you do what you can according to your attraction. And you will find, believe me, you will find a way to give back to the community and to also receive from the community no matter what your situation is. So this ECO 751 Field Studies, this is the community. Tuition. As far as I know, we are the only graduate school possibly in the world that's doing this. We operate on the honor system, sliding scale tuition. We have a set tuition amount. Each person is asked to pay every penny that they can, and it really is on the honor system because the school would fall apart if people didn't take it seriously or if people took advantage of the flexibility that we offer. But people have not done that. People have really expressed the best of what we are studying so that for 20 years we have been able to offer this program to anyone who wants to take it, regardless of their ability to pay. People who are able to pay the whole tuition amount pay the whole tuition amount. We have people who pay the whole tuition amount and make an added donation just out of the goodness of their heart. We have people who were very strapped at the beginning of the program and operated on scholarship and work study, and then we've had a couple people who sent full payment long after they graduated. You do whatever you need to do. And if you, many people, let me kind of map out the options. If many people do a monthly payment plan where they decide how much they can pay a month, and then you just calculate out how many months that would take for your goal, whichever track you're on. If you can afford it, we love it when people can pay in advance what would be a standard tuition payment plan, which would be paying either for each course in advance before you take it, or even better, if you're really comfortable financially, it's ideal if you could pay for a whole certification level in advance. But it's up to you. If you are If you are on a monthly payment plan that stretches your payments out beyond when you would graduate, that would be a form of scholarship. And so, and because that's kind of, it basically is our offering you a no-interest loan. And so in exchange for that, we ask that you do extra work study beyond your academic requirement. If you're on a scholarship, would mean that you're asking for a reduced tuition rate, and you let us know if you could pay part of the tuition amount. Great, but we do have people on full scholarships, and if that's the case, then you would be basically working off your tuition amount on the honor system based on what you feel would be the going rate for the work that you're doing in the real world. So tuition rates, courses are $150 per credit for the degree program. The certification tuition is based on $85 per credit because it requires less of our time in overseeing your graduate work. So certification, 3 levels, $740 each for a total of $2,320 for level 3 certification. Master's degree is $6,000. PhD is $7,800. Questions about that? Okay. If you are getting, I don't know if no. If you are, for some reason, getting Portland State University credits, for example, if you want, if you need to have a U.S. accredited academic credit for license renewal for your license, psychology license or your education license, you get those credits through PSU, and that's an additional $55 per credit, and there's a process for ordering that credit. Okay. The online community, right now we're using 2 Yahoo groups, which I sent you invitations for. Did everyone get their invitations?
Yes.
Okay. So right now there are 2 groups, the GWSG, which is the student community discussions, and the professional group, which are the professional discussions. In practice, it's very difficult to tease those apart, and people find themselves posting to one or the other, and everyone belongs to both. So we are working on a new online community, which will be in the most modern format, like a Ning site, like a social networking site. Our goal is to launch January 2012. I have 2 links here. One is to a YouTube video of our latest gathering. We have yearly community gatherings, and we just had one in June, which was just wonderful. And so that's a link to the YouTube video of that, and then kind of a slideshow. And there are also some other YouTube video interviews of some of us who were at the gathering that are absolutely wonderful. And then the other link below, of course, is our Facebook page. So please, that Facebook page is a public page, and we encourage you to invite all of your Facebook friends if you use Facebook. Invite all of your Facebook friends, and I post snippets of our Nature Connect, of our class posts, basically. All of those super yummy posts that we adore get turned into Facebook. Pardon?
What's the Facebook one called? I actually have a Facebook. That's one of the few things I know how to do.
If you just here, I'll go there.
Project Nature
If you
Connect.
just put Project Nature Connect into the search, you'll find
Hello?
it.
Hi.
Yes, hello?
Oh, hi, this is Jean calling.
Hi, Jean.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't have a camera on my computer, so I'm glad we could do this through phone.
Okay, great. Did you know that we started an hour ago?
Oh, crap. Oh,
That's
because
okay.
I'm on Mountain Time. Yeah.
Yeah. But don't worry about it because we're recording it, Jean, okay?
Okay. So it just recorded.
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
So I'm sorry that we had a misunderstanding. I do that also where I miscalculate the time zone thing, and maybe I need to write that differently so that it's more obvious to people, you know, what the time is for their time zone, or that there are different time zones I'm listing. If you have an idea of how I could have written that better, email it to me, okay, Jean?
Okay.
Or any of
yeah,
you.
Sure.
If you know of a different way that you've seen people write that so that it's obvious. I'm doing it this way, but it's still not perfect. There's always at least one of us who, you know, calls it, including me. I'm famous for doing this with my individual co-op orientation calls, where I'll call someone an hour early or an hour late.
Okay, yeah, I think I probably knew it because if I want to watch like a basketball game, I have to interpret the time, East Coast time and Mountain time, and I'm just like, 2 o'clock with the conversion, that would be fine, you know. So
I'm Mountain time as well.
Okay. So in any case, Jean, we are coming to the end of it, but it's all recorded for you. And so just pick up with us here and then listen to the recording, and then you and I, each of us are going to have an individual call that we'll schedule afterward. And so you can ask your questions during our individual call, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right. So after graduation, because we are a community, virtually everyone so far stays active in the community after graduation. And so some of the ways that people stay involved are creating outreach programs, and an outreach program is where you teach the actual courses in person for academic credit under the auspices of Project Nature Connect. So that is an opportunity that's available to all of you as soon as you reach qualification level. So as soon as you have finished level 1 certification, you can have an outreach program and teach the orientation course for credit. And so you charge the regular tuition plus whatever you want to get for yourself. And you're offering enhanced services because you're doing it in person and you're doing it outside with people, so it's worth it to people to pay a little more. So that's a career path. You can write and teach advanced courses for Project Nature Connect. In fact, you can get academic credit. You can, for your master's, if you want to write a master's thesis that is a graduate curriculum in advanced whatever your area of specialty is, you can submit that to us, and we will offer it in our elective courses list, and you can teach that course and get tuition for teaching that course. Okay? You can stay involved with the, I know, it's all three-dimensional, which is what's so amazing. And everything is mutually interdependent relationships, creatively, just arising from our inspiration and our relationship with each other, and it's very cool. You can help to evolve the PNC community and the program. Right now we are at the point where we are sort of moving into our next evolution. Actually, me joining was the beginning of this phase where Mike bumped it up a notch and brought me in, and now I have found other people who are in the community who are helping me to envision, and then we will implement the next evolution of the community, which will be the new online community that will enable us to have this online self-organizing work groups and classes, which we can't do as well on the Yahoo group, but also more on-the-ground activity. This is really, there's a lot of energy happening right now following the gathering in June. We've got a group of people who are actively beginning to talk about starting a little Project Nature Connect Eco Village up at in Mike's area on San Juan Island. We've got other people who are interested in developing either learning, study, fellowship communities in their area, or even little sustainable living situations with Nature Connect community members. After graduation, you also will be reaching out and creating connections with other organizations, with eco-psychologists, functioning and practicing and studying and learning in all different kinds of ways, developing your own education programs, your own therapeutic programs, professional practice, doing public education, continuing to just be a voice in your community and in the world community for reconnecting with nature. Staying involved with the international online PNC community and family, and just continuing to grow together, and on-the-ground groups, as I was talking about. Any questions or comments about that?
I have a question. With the outreach programs, you were saying that we could teach the courses for credit, and that for the writing and teaching advanced coursework, we could do that for tuition. Can we do that would we be able to teach an outreach program for tuition as well, or is that just for credit?
Yes, you can. Like as a tuition barter?
Yeah.
Are you saying absolutely?
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry I missed
You
out
can do
on so much of that.
That's the thing. You can propose any idea that you have, and if you're attracted to it and it's mutually beneficial, then it will be accepted.
Okay.
We thrive on that creativity, and we thrive on ever-increasing diversity, as all natural systems do.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Questions?
Maybe you covered it earlier, but you said a lot of this is possible after the level 1 certification. Is that?
Yep.
Okay, and then that's something that. Yeah, this is Jean.
Yep. There will be here. I'll flash back.
What's that?
I'll flash back to this page. Here's the curriculum path. So, but you'll hear it in the recording.
Okay.
I went over it. We spent a lot of time on this, so you'll have a pretty good feel for it. And if you have any questions after that, just write them down as you're listening, and we'll talk about it when we have our individual call.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Other questions, thoughts, feelings, comments?
I have a question.
Yep.
Okay, since I only have a high school diploma right now, to get a degree, I have to get other credits through my college, right?
If you here's how it will work with you, Mackenzie, because you're going to be in college at the same time.
Yep.
Okay, so assuming that you're going to take 4 years to finish your college degree, yes. So you would, you're gonna go through the program however long you want it to take, because you'll be in school at the same time. So you might take more than a year for each of these levels, right? It depends on how much free time you have. So basically, you would get your actual piece of paper with your master's degree after you have gotten your BA. If you want an accredited, a U.S. accredited bachelor's degree. If you don't care about a U.S. accredited bachelor's degree, you could get the BA equivalency through us after you have finished. I think it's a little over a year of college credits, general college credits.
Okay, and let's see. You say if I care about the U.S. credit, is that really looked upon by employers, or does it matter?
Sometimes yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I personally would recommend that you have a U.S. accredited BA degree.
Okay, that's what I was probably going to do.
Yeah,
okay.
Because unless you're really going to strike out on your own, if you ever want to work for a school system, they will require a U.S. accredited BA degree.
Okay.
Let me talk a little bit about our accreditation. So our graduate degrees are with Akamai University, and Akamai is based in Hawaii, and it is UNESCO approved, which is an international, what was intended to be a form of universal accreditation that people could take to a different country, to sort of validate a degree from another country. And so it has UNESCO approved status, but also it has regional accreditation. The highest form of accreditation is regional accreditation, and Akamai University has regional accreditation in the Philippines, which is in its neighborhood. So it's accredited by IDEAL, which is the accrediting organization for all of the online academic programs in that region. So it's regionally accredited in its geographical area, but Akamai is not regionally accredited in the United States. And the reason for that is that U.S. regional accreditation is very difficult to attain, and for example, you have to have a sizable endowment, so you have to have a lot of money in the bank bringing to the table. You have to have structures in place that we're very reluctant to put into place because it would limit our flexibility and basically make it very difficult for us to do the sort of interdependent activity that we're doing. So we are open to, obviously, it would be lovely to have American regional accreditation, and we're open to doing that. And that's something that I, as program director, will continue to explore, because we may find a U.S. accredited university who is willing to be flexible with us and let us find creative ways to be able to stay true to our learning process while still meeting the requirements for accreditation. So that's something that's still on the table long term. But for now, students have been perfectly satisfied with the accreditation that we do offer. And if you want U.S. accredited academic credits for any of the courses, there are a couple of situations where those U.S. credits, regionally accredited credits, are very useful to people. One is, as I said, for some professional licenses, like the education, if you're a if you're a master's level educator, for continuing education credits need to be U.S. accredited, and so we offer those. All of our core academic courses are offered for U.S. academic credit, fully accredited through Portland State University for a little bit of an additional fee. It's not ultra expensive, $55 per credit. That is dirt cheap as far as academic credits go. And then the other situation where that U.S. Accredited academic credit is very useful is if your employer, this is true for teachers, and I don't know if it's also true in other professions, but our our graduate degreed teachers get bumped up into a higher salary rate if they have more continuing ed credits. And so for those people, it's worth it to buy the PSU credits to show their learning with Project Nature Connect, because they're getting a pay raise for that. So those are a couple of situations in which you might want to get those PSU credits. So Mackenzie, does that give you a better idea of, we can talk more about accreditation. Sure. But I would really recommend that you have an accredited BA.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, you'll be glad that you have that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Other questions?
I have a question that doesn't really apply right now, but in the future, I'm very interested in teaching these courses locally, doing an outreach type of program. And yep. I'm wondering, I've already kind of thought, I'm a teacher, and so that's what I do. And I've thought about the textbook situation. Do you usually, when people do that, do people like order their textbooks? I know this is just like a practical question for the future, but something that I've been thinking about. Can you get like a set? Can you purchase a set to have to like lend out, or do people usually have the people taking the course buy them? How does that work?
The book is included in the tuition that people will pay.
Okay.
So if you run an outreach program, your orientation group, basically it functions in the Nature Connect organization. It functions just like any other orientation group. You're always the co-fac.
Okay.
And so what most people do is they collect the tuition from their students and then send it to PNC with and then they have their students fill out our application.
Okay.
And so they're on file with us, and so we have their email address and everything on file, and Mike is reading in the background, so he's the official backup instructor. He's basically, you're working under his auspices.
Right, so even if you're doing it, you're not doing it online, you're doing it locally, the responses are still done via email?
It would be different. Like the orientation course is an online class, and so you're talking about, what about the option of not doing it by email, just having in-person discussion? That's something. I don't know the answer to that. That's something you should talk to Mike about.
It sounds like it would be fun to do something like that.
Absolutely. The thing is, it's the academic credit that we're talking about here.
Right.
Having Mike supervising that
is how you get the credit.
It's a requirement for if you're getting the academic credit from PSU.
Right.
Or through Project Nature Connect, because you're working under his auspices. He's basically vouching for you.
Sure.
that you're being a good teacher.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. And but if you wanted to teach your own classes, you can do that. You can use his book and just put on your own. It just wouldn't be, they wouldn't be able to get academic credit for it.
Okay, I see.
But you could buy 6 books and run the orientation course without Mike's supervision, as long as you have reached level 1 certification, and charge and not pay anything to Project Nature Connect. But you wouldn't get academic, your students wouldn't get academic credit.
I see. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. It's just something I've been thinking about, because I'm always thinking about how to teach things when I'm learning things. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And you will find, undoubtedly, as you get deeper into your own learning, you will find yourself designing curriculum if you're a teacher.
Right,
you
I'm
know,
sure.
You'll just go, wow, it would be great to do this series of activities, you know, and sort of this progression of insight. So, yeah, and if you create it, you can also formalize that and present that. If you want to teach it through Project Nature Connect, you can, so that you're basically having the benefit of our marketing, you know, for you as an instructor, and like that.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Lots of possibilities.
I have a question. Oh.
Yeah.
Hello? Okay, this is Jean. And hi, Mackenzie, by the way.
Hi. I'm excited. I always...
This is for... But, let's see. Backtracking a little bit to the CEUs, and I wondered about, if you know, Barb, do you know if each state will accept CEUs for, you know, towards counseling? Or
yes, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I am a licensed psychologist, and the Minnesota Board of Psychology does not. They accept CEU certificate directly from Institute of Global Education, so I don't have to pay PSU $55 per credit when I renew my license. Mike just sends me a letter stating, you know, Barbara Hunting completed these courses for this amount of academic credit, and I just include that with my license renewal form. So you should check with your licensing board, and or just, yeah, you should check with your licensing board in your I don't know what your license is. Are you LPC?
No, I'm pretty far from it. It's the associate counselor through Arizona.
Okay.
I know we have one of the tougher boards. But,
for Arizona?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I lived in Arizona. That's what I had when I lived in Arizona.
Okay. Well, that's promising to hear.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so if you go to your licensing board website and look on their page, it'll probably say, I can't remember what mine said, but I didn't even find myself needing to call. Something on that page told me that that a document from the Institute was sufficient.
Okay.
So, but if it's not, you can pay the $55 per credit to PSU and get the U.S. accredited CEUs.
Okay. Yeah, I'll
Okay.
dig into that a bit.
Yeah. Other questions?
I'll save mine up for when we speak because I have a feeling mine will go back in history to what you've already covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll have more too, but
Yeah. Okay. All right. Are we ready to wrap up then?
yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to wish you guys a really heartfelt welcome to the Project Nature Connect community, and I look forward to getting to know you just in our individual meetings. I will, why don't we say this? Why don't each of you email me a couple of appointment time options, and then we'll settle on an individual time and have about half an hour meeting with each of you. And then I'll also see you on the Yahoo group, and look forward to getting to know you there, and maybe I'll even be your co-fac at some point. I'm really excited that you're joining us, and if you need anything, or if you have questions, need any help, if you run into any kind of trouble, just call me or email me or Skype me. Okay?
Okay.
When would or when are you looking to begin the individual calls? Is there a certain week or date?
You can, so email me a couple of appointment times in the next coming week.
Okay.
Okay? It could even be tomorrow.
Okay.
Whenever you want, whenever is convenient.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep. Sounds great.
All right. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you so much for taking the time.
Sure. Sure. Take care, and I will talk to each of you very soon.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
You're welcome. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.